Today, I'm gonna give you 5 of my favorite tips that I've learned as a runner to help you as a beginner runner. So, because I just passed mile 1, I'll give you tip number 1. The first tip to running, if you're a beginner, is start easy. And I mean, literally, if running to you is bumping up and down a little bit as you walk faster, start there. If you can only do a quarter of a mile at an easy pace, start there. So many people think that you have to go out as hard as you can and as fast as you can every time you run. That's just not the case. That's gonna lead to injury. It's gonna make running not fun. And you're not gonna be able to build any endurance that way. So in order to do that correctly, you need to start easy and start slow. And don't try to do too much too quickly. Just past mile 2. So tip number 2 actually goes back before the run. Before every single run, you should have some sort of warm-up routine. And I liken it to playing golf. Every time you hit a golf shot, you need to have some sort of pre-shot routine that kind of sets you in motion, gets you in the right mindset to do the thing you're about to do. So I'll put my pre-run routine up on screen right now. But basically this takes about 5 minutes and it really warms up the muscles that you're gonna be using during your run. I'm not saying every run's gonna be amazing because you warm up, but at least you're doing your due diligence so that you don't get injured and so that you are working on warming your body up for the activity. Now this routine only takes about 5 minutes, so it's not too hard to do. All you really need is a stretchy band. What it does is it warms up your muscles that you're going to be using during your run. And usually when I warm up before runs, the runs are better. I'm not saying every run's going to be amazing if you warm up, but they will probably be significantly better if you warmed up as opposed to if you didn't. Now this one technically isn't a tip, but something I try to do. I try to run in the middle of the road when I can. Because my first year running, I ran too much on one side of the road, which was the side opposing traffic, to be safe. However, I developed Achilles tendonitis in my left Achilles tendon because I was running too much on that side of the road. So, kind of a bonus tip. Now, my run today is only about 5 miles, so this doesn't really apply too much, but especially for longer runs, you need to fuel yourself properly. What does that look like? Well, usually about 2 hours before a run, I'll eat a good-sized meal with protein, carbs, and fats. I typically try to eat more carbs as I'm prepping for a marathon or I know I'm gonna have a big run. So for a typical easy run, what I'll usually do is eat about 40 to 50 grams of carbs about an hour out from my run. And to me, I found that works the best. And what that looks like is 2 pieces of toast with about 2 servings of honey. And that gives me the energy that I need for my run. I don't like to do any type of workout fasted because it's like driving a car without putting gasoline in it. You can't go if you don't have any fuel. The other part of this is supplementing with electrolytes. For about 5 or 6 years of running, I didn't really supplement with electrolytes, or at least seriously. And when you run, even in the cold, you sweat. And in the summertime, you sweat a lot. Even when you sleep, you're sweating. So supplementing with 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams of sodium in the form of electrolytes every single day that you train is really good for you and helps keep your electrolyte levels in balance. Because again, when you sweat, you lose salt. You lose salt, your performance starts to go down. Your recovery starts to go down. And especially during long runs, if it's hot outside, 10, 15, 20 miles, you could lose anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 milligrams of sodium. So you have to get that back somehow by either adding a ton of pink Himalayan salt to your food or by supplementing with electrolytes. The electrolytes that I'm using as of right now are switchback electrolytes. Running with friends is always better than running by yourself. So tip number 4 is run with people. Find a group of people to run with, a local running group. Start one if you have to. Because running by yourself, maybe you might have to do it a lot because that's just how your schedule goes. But especially in the beginning, running with other people will help you to get into a groove of running, start to enjoy it a lot more. Because I know running by myself a lot just gets old, gets boring sometimes, actually a lot of times. And even if you're suffering but you're running with people, it's still a lot better than suffering alone. So tip number 4, run with people. So as I wrap up this 5-mile run on this glorious downhill, I want to give you tip number 5, and that is to trust the process and have fun. Just like learning a new art form, learning how to drive, or lifting weights in the gym, running is a skill that you have to develop. You don't just go out and know how to run. It's a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimentation, especially with fueling, shoes, what to wear. I mean, it's a lot of stuff to learn. So trust the process in just knowing that if you go out and you try to learn how to run, you're probably going to learn how to run. And if you stick with it, you're probably going to get better. And as you get better at it, you're going to want to learn more. And as you learn more, you're going to get better. and the cycle continues and repeats. So if you're a beginner runner, my hope is that these 5 tips help you to get well onto your running journey. Now, my dad actually just made a video just like this with his 5 tips, and I'll link it here. And if you want to follow along on my running journey and learn more useful and helpful running tips, check out this video, or feel free to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any videos like these. If you could like the video, that would also help. But until then, I'll either see you in this video or I'll see you in another video.